We're a mere 5 weeks away from WWE SummerSlam and a mere 8 days away from WWE Money in the Bank. Though if you go just strictly by WWE television, they're already looking well ahead to SummerSlam outside of the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches, which are looking to be one of 2 things. A complete dumpster fire, or they go with the right winner and they fuck that up. I really hope that they actually do something right, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Smackdown from Austin, Texas. And oh boy, they had the dub in the crowd quite a bit here, didn't they? Look, I'm sure that there were some fans making some noise, and it did look like sometimes the crowd was up, but they are just goddamn going crazy with the dubbed in, souped up crowd noise. The WWE Thunderdome era basically made like, well, hey, we don't have to fucking care about this. We can just sweeten it. We can make it look great on TV, even if anybody with the possession of proper eyesight or even half proper eyesight. So Linda McMahon or Shawn Michaels, and by the way, fuck Linda McMahon for binding the whole Roe versus Wade thing, you goddamn stupid lazy-eyed twat. You fucking deserve to be endlessly mocked for being a goddamn idiot and a Trump-sucking son of a bitch. And if you got a problem with that shirt, or you got a problem with me, not liking the fact they overturned Roe versus Wade and we're leaving it up to the states, including a bunch of states that are run by a stupid backwoods Bible-thumping motherfucking idiots that twist the words of an old ancient book to justify their bigotry, you can fuck the hell off. And no, I'm not going to forget about that because you know what? I'm not perfect. I will never fucking be perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I support a woman's right to choose. And if you don't, you're a fucking asshole. So, yeah, Linda McMahon can piss the fuck off, but enough about Linda McMahon. Let's talk about the fact this show just wasn't very good. In fact, it wasn't very good at all. Recaps of Riddle and Reigns and Bork's return. And then Drew just thrusting it out among all the fan stuff. Thinking about it, you know who you are, I know you're thinking about it. And he basically wanted to start as a bottom and work his way to a top. I may have misinterpreted that. You know who you are, you stop thinking about that as well. Here are the UK newsies, that's what I'm calling them. I'm sorry, but Peter Butcherdoon, I can't take it serious. I can't. I'm sorry, I just can't. So, endless talking and such about Money in the Bank. Then Heyman and Pierce show up. Pierce got overruled by thrusting Sheamus and Drew into Money in the Bank at the same time. So they're out of Money in the Bank unless they beat the Usos tonight. And if they can get along, but can they get along? They'll have to, because if they do, then they qualify for the Money in the Bank match. But if they don't, then they're out and then we have 2 free spots. They basically telegraphed that once again, the Unified Tag Team Champions are going to be taking the goddamn fall. Which, whatever, but that's the whole thing about Tag Team Champions. If they're just going to keep constantly taking falls to the point it's like it makes the titles meaningless. And the Usos are a really good team. Whether they're the best team in the goddamn world is subject to debate. It's your opinion. If you think so, that's fine. But the booking's really shite. So, they cut off Nakamura's entrance, by the way. He just gets a little bit. We then cut back to Kayla interviewing Sami Zayn. We're nearly 25 minutes into the show before we get to the first match. Zayn basically says, if I win the Money in the Bank briefcase, I'm going to use it to protect Roman. I'm going to lay down, basically, is what he's implying. Or they imply that he's going to do it. He's going to get into the bloodline, then he's going to find a way, or he's going to fully get into the bloodline, then he's going to cash in and win the Undisputed Championship. Which would be stupid, because Sami Zayn already torpedoed his goddamn in-ring career with that horrible Anything Goes match. And, you know, I'm not going to get off of that, because it was really goddamn stupid. Nakamura took on Zayn, Money in the Bank qualifier, same as it ever was. Zayn wins, life goes on. Cole's commentary is fucking atrocious. New Day come out for an entrance and we go to break. New Day dance challenge with New Day, Jinder, and Shaky Shank. Who asked for this? I just want to talk. I just want to talk by putting your head in the freaking, frozen stuff that Jason used in Jason X. Because that's basically what the creative mind fucking deserves for getting this abomination on television. So then the Raiders show up with Rousey the Raccoon's makeup all over their face, and they beat up 3 minorities in Austin. Not surprising, the husband of Sarah Rowe would want to beat up 3 minorities. If you know, you know. The Raiders are fucking toast. They're fucking toast. I was like, oh, they're badasses now. They got different makeup, and they got slightly different outfits. They look like goofs. So, Sonya, fuck is what I wrote down, because good God, she looks great. The Pride colors, fan-fucking-tastic, and if you don't support gay rights, get the fuck off my channel. She knocks Pierce, says, oh, your in-ring career failed, and that, all this stuff, and she's been back on Smackdown for weeks, apparently, and she wants to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So she gets a handicap match. So then Sonya brings Xia Li and Shayna to the ring. Remember when Xia Li was going to be like the next big breakout star once she debuted on Smackdown? They did fucking nothing with her. And I said it was probably going to happen. I didn't want to be right. Yeah, I was right. Sonya then took on Lacey and Raquel. Boy, team, you know what? You talk about red hats being in the closet. There you fucking go. I don't really know what this was. It wasn't very good. It was very awkward, and interference kept happening. And then Lacey fists Sonya to get the victory. And I've seen that movie before. And then Aftermath, it was really awkward. And Lacey has enough talent. Sonya's underappreciated. Xia Li is very good. And Raquel is also there. Shayna, and I love Shayna. Do not misunderstand. I think Shayna's very good, but Shayna's basically a lost cause as far as being taken seriously. Then the Profits see Los Lotharios tag teaming another woman backstage. And then Drew Gulak was working out on ladders, while the Profits kept shouting. And Natty then comes out in Rousey the Raccoon's makeup, pushing a stroller. And then she's basically just doing, she's knocking Rousey and everything, saying, oh, I'm going to, it's like, oh, I'm going to tap out, this kind of stuff. Just like my mother should have tapped out. Just like Nancy Benoit tapped out 15 years ago today. Yes, I had to get one of those jokes in, because why the fuck not? See, you got the pillow, the phone cord, the Bowflex machine. Oh, Benoit, is back. Thank God he survived that accident the other day. Fucking murderer's in hell, and he deserves to be. Then Rousey the Raccoon shows up, and it's funny. The Sandy Hook Truther, is trying to, basically talk about societal changes and everything. Talking about, like, not going, conforming to societal norms. Yes, we get it. You probably don't want to take the jab, Rousey, and anytime you take a jab, you run home crying like a bitch. She doesn't want to be there, and this has been a complete dumpster fire, and Rousey the Raccoon should not be there. So they get in a bit of an awkward struggle. They are fighting over a baby carriage. They are fighting over shampoo. So then we get the rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. Here's Ricochet, and he gets destroyed. He gets European bombed in a few minutes. And this is the Reich title reign for them. Well, that's going to go well. But that's okay. It's just going to be the first step to implement the final phase of their plan. And then Zayn interrupts Kayla, who's talking to Heyman. I know what storyline they're going for. I just don't find it interesting because Sami Zayn torpedoed, to me, like, he does great charity. He does great stuff, and he's a hell of a promo. Fucking lost me with that match. So Tamina has half of an entrance. We go to break, and then here's Shotzi. Then Shotzi took on Tamina in the Money in the Bank qualifier with a very botched 3 count, because somebody was supposed to get their foot on the rope, or somebody was supposed to do something, or perhaps maybe somebody turned the air conditioning on at the wrong time, and then a weird DDT 1, 2, 3. At least Tamina has a new house, according to The Rock. Good for The Rock. Recaps of the Raiders invading, and then they have a pre-tape talking about how they're going to raid all over everybody. Cool. So anyway, and then Max Dupri's Maximum Male Mall's debut is not happening. Again, they're trolling us. This is Emelina territory. I don't care if they debut now. They're probably going to end up debuting. Then they'll lose their first match. And then they'll forget and they'll probably release Max Dupri by the time SummerSlam is done. I don't want to be right because the guy's a hell of a promo and the guy could be a benefit to the company, but come on. Anyway, Pat knocks Corbin and says he will face him at SummerSlam. That's pretty much it right there. And then we get the entrances for Drew and Sheamus starting at 6:38 p.m. And then the Usos entrances at 6:44 p.m. And then we are given maybe 12 minutes for the match. Maybe 12 minutes at the most. Usos versus Drew and Sheamus. Money in the Bank qualifier for Drew and Sheamus. Can they get along? They brawl, they fist, but then they end up winning. Because of course they do. By the way, also, the Usos interfere. Sammy tries to interfere, gets knocked away by Angelo Dawkins. Drew dies, and then Claymore 1, 2, 3. Drew and Sheamus are back in the Money in the Bank match. They were out of it for all of 90 fucking minutes. Great fucking storytelling. Agree, disagree what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritland. I can't wait for Money in the Bank next week. I hope it's good. Please don't suck. Anyway, see you soon.